All right, all you snowboarders of the internet, we're here. We're live. We're taking your questions. We got our Lord and Savior Slimothy Whitman up there as well. So if you got questions, get them in the chat box. Going to try to answer them. Super chats do get a spin of the wheel. No big prizes this week or anything like that. But we got stuff coming up in the future to give you guys a heads up on what we've been working on, why I wasn't around the last few weeks. Hired a new guy, TC. He's going to be doing reviews. We're going through the training process. He's going to do probably, my guess, somewhere between 15 to 30 reviews for the fall. So we're going through all that with him, getting him up to speed. Hired a part-time editor that will start next month, and he'll be editing all the reviews and stuff. So all the members of Angry Snowboarder VIP, typically you've been able to get early access to the written review in the summer. Hopefully this year you'll be getting access to the video months ahead of time too. So that's kind of what we've been working on with that. If everything goes right through the next 4 months, which nothing ever goes right in my life, we will have a year to a year and a half's worth of content created for you guys. And you'll still be getting your explained on Mondays, your top fives on Wednesdays, reviews every day till we run out. But the goal is with the new guy coming in, he's going to be reviewing stuff in the fall when typically I'd be like killing myself to do it so I can work on other projects. The Boot Fitting 101 series is getting fully redone. And that has already started, and we're working on a few other things. And then in the fall, there's a chance we'll be hiring a female reviewer. And the goal is in the fall, you won't see any reviews from her because I'm just going to make her go out and write and film reviews just for me. And then when I think she's up to speed, we'll bring her in for the next year's stuff too. So yeah. Anyways, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, we got a poll going in the chat too. If you guys are preparing for the corn harvest, and if you're looking for, and this is a PSA from Leno Oasis, Christie Sports has up to 60% off right now. They are an affiliate of mine. There's links in this video and all the other videos, but it's a good time to pick up jackets. I know they have a bunch of inventory and they're blowing it out. The house sent me a promo code today, but I mean, I don't think there's anything left at the house at this point. Like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The house is doing an extra 50% off your order if you use Take 50 at checkout. But I mean, I don't think there's shit left on their website, but you never know. Maybe there's accessories or something on there. So yeah. But yeah, so anyways, okay, let's take some of these super chats. We got our boy or Ian. Have you ridden or seen the Arbor Satori? Seems like a good one. Hashtag Spray Skiers. I've ridden the Satori, got about 4 laps on it. Wasn't enough to review it. Good ride, just horrible conditions. Wouldn't have been like, and also was riding with a crew of homies, so really wasn't really paying too much attention. Just wanted to rip. Evidently, the Arbor boards are somewhere between marketing and my house. No one exactly knows where the fuck they are, so they might show up, they might not. So we'll see. So, but the Satori was on that list. Ooh, is it going to stay there? Yes, it is. Pick a random question and give it a spin. Let's see. Find some questions here. We'll take this one from DJ Happy Bird 13. What do you think of the Solomon HPS boards? Interested in the Taka or Fish? Have you ridden them? Are they made with better quality than the original Solomon boards? Like what? You talking the 1990 Solomon boards? So the HPS series is like Vole's kind of idea with stuff. I haven't ridden the Fish. I have ridden the Taka. Taka was kind of but I want to get, but I guess it's getting revamped for next year. So you want to do it, but they're total POW boards, and you have to read the specs on it because some of them you size up on and some of them you size down on. Oh God, we bounced around again. Oh, okay. You lose. All right. Let's see. We got this one from Chrissy. Where can I donate outerwear if it's in good condition? I didn't see anything on the Shred Foundation website about sending gear in. Fiance has a jacket that doesn't fit her, and she's only worn it 1 or 2 times. So they're pretty good with outerwear right now. I don't think we need to make any donations to them, but you should check out Hoods to Woods. They're either .com or .org. They might need it. And there's Shred Foundation's been working with this other one. I think they're out of New England. It's Something's Kids, and I can't remember what it is, the full name of it, but they were looking for donations too. So do that. Otherwise, just search and see if you have a local snowboard charity near you too that you could drop stuff off. Otherwise, yeah, give it to Goodwill. Okay. All right. Oh, stuff I find interesting. Trying to get a free orca from Unstrapped. So, yeah, Jim and Andrew over at Unstrapped Snowboarding are giving away an orca when they hit 1,000 subscribers. So all you have to do is go over to video 27, leave a comment, subscribe. You're going to get entered into a raffle, and you might win a brand new orca. So we're trying to get those guys to 1,000 so they can monetize. That way I want to be able to send super chats just to make brewers say weird, fucked up things. So, yeah. But anyways, head over to Unstrapped Snowboarding after this. Subscribe. Leave a comment on video 27, episode 27, and you might win an orca on it. I actually need to go leave a comment on it because I think it would be hilarious to win the orca, because then what I'm going to do is make them do another raffle with it for when they get to 2,000. So, that'd be funny. Okay. We got a super chat from our boy, RJ Gould. Did you hear Buckhouse's new lie? He's claiming he's making over 6 figures. Kookhouse going to cook. I mean, he's probably making 6 figures. I'm not denying that. I know how much money I make. Like, just for frame of reference, but I also know what my expenses are. 6 figures is relatively really easy to do. I'm not doubting that he makes it. I'm doubting that he pays his fucking taxes. Like, that's what sucks. Like, for me, my thing is like paying an actual living wage. He does not pay his employees a living wage. I don't know how they survive up here, but I don't know. But who cares? But I do know that, like, with hiring people and all that stuff, like, 6 figures is actually relatively easy to make, but taxes are, dude, I'm getting hosed on taxes right now. I'm just like dealing with that. Like, this sucks. At one point they calculated I owed $20,000 in taxes. And I was like, I think that's a little off. So we're trying to figure out where I put in the wrong amount at some point. But yeah, so, okay. Yeah, RG spin too. Listen to that thing clack. But yeah, if you're just getting here, you got questions, get them in the chat box. We're going to do it. The corn harvest is starting, or maybe that's all you had all season. So, and shop local. There's some great, like, little shops doing stuff. I know People Snow out in the Midwest is blowing out stuff. Holy Stokes in Pennsylvania, Invasion up in Vermont, Dark Side. Milo's starting to blow stuff out. Gravity's blowing stuff out. Underground's blowing stuff out. So, like, go check some local shops too. Support some of the local homies. Build those guys up. All right. Let's see. And we got Philip Y. Yo, Angry, quick question. Do you follow Mondo Point for shoe sizing, or do you just go, this is comfy, I'm getting it? No. Mondo Point, I always size. And so you want to size both feet. So I have really screwed up feet. So my left is a 9 3/4, and my right is a 10 3/4. So full size difference. So I wear a size 10. Left boot's always a little loose. I have a little more toe room in there. And the right for the first like 20 days is like this until it packs out in there. But go with Mondo Point. And what you want to do is, like, take the first number and add it to the second number. So if it's a 28, that's a 10. If it's a 27, that's a 9. You get what I'm saying? If it's a 26.5, that's an 8.5. Go with that. And you always want to try to size to a smaller foot if you're actually trying to get a performance or like a good fit out of your boot. If you're just going for comfort fit, like you ride 5 days a year, size to the bigger one. You'll be fine. It won't kill you. So anyways, that's what I do. I size to Mondo Point for sure. Totally believe it. All right. Okay. And we got a super chat from our boy Fruit Poop Loop. Spring for Slim. Slim's got the top down in the Miata wherever he is. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll call today. Maybe not. I don't know. Haven't heard from him in a while. Kind of worried. And drink Malort. It's Slim Whitman's drink of choice. Oh, this is a good PSA from Cameron Halmrest. The house is getting returns. That stuff is showing up very early morning. Okay, so, well, I mean, if you're looking for stuff, check the website when you first wake up on thehouse.com and see, because they're getting returns, which I've seen some of those returns from the affiliates coming back through, so I'm not surprised. Okay. Let's see. We got Patrick with the super chat. Wait, what's going on over here? Okay, we got Patrick with the super chat. Good 4x4 binding for park side hits. So you can always check out my top 5 freestyle bindings list. Those are some good ones, like Union Force on there, but the Rome Vice is really good bang for the buck. I think that's solid. You can go up. If you want a little beefier, go to the Katana. The Ride C6, not the A6, the C6. If you want soft and loose, the bent metal joint is another one to consider. I do think that, like, the Now Brigade is a good, like, jibby kind of binding, but if you want a little more power, you want to bump up to the next model, and if you want even more after that, you go to the Select Pro, but that's probably too much. The Jones Meteorite, not the Orion. So there's a couple options for you, Patrick. All right. Let's pick a random question and give it a spin. Let's see what we got here. Marc-Andre Williams, thoughts on this year's K2 Alchemist? They did a tweak to it, and unfortunately, I was never able to ride it. I just couldn't get one from the rep. So I don't know how it compares to the last time I rode it. I think it's, from everything everyone's told me, it's still very similar to it. I think it's just a little easier to press, but unfortunately, I haven't been able to get on that new one, and I asked for next year's one, and I still didn't get that. So I'm sorry, but you do get a free spin. But yeah, so for everyone that's just getting here, answer the chat poll. We got that going on over here in the chat box, about the corn harvest. Remember to subscribe or else. Let's see what we got here. We got a super chat from Marshall Lachez. Yo, Avran, got a Safari for half price. That's a killer deal. Are the Rome, DOD, or Cleavers 2023 with adaptable heel strap better for it? Cheers, mate. Hashtag spray kooks. Always spray kooks. So for the Safari, I think the DOD, you don't need to go full, like, stiff with that. I'm sure it has a hole in it. You don't have to go full stiffness with it. So I think the DOD would be a better binding than going with the Cleaver. I think the Cleaver would just be a little overkill on that board. I think you're going to get a little more play with the DOD. Be sure to eat your muscle cheese, people. Also, we got Tommy Bennett in the chat here. I don't know if you guys know that, but Tommy Bennett eats whole live birds. That's why there's no bird population at Copper Mountain, Colorado. All right. Super chat from our moderator, Billy Ray Valentine. RIP L Stackers Adventures. Rest in peace. I will not take part in spring sales. You're not the boss of me. I have chlamydia. Not really. Why are you dumb? Boy, squeezed a whole lot into that one there, buddy. I don't know. Everyone says I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Remember to smash POW. I will be tomorrow. We're supposed to be getting like 5 to 8 inches. So, yeah. Okay. We got Hana with the PSA. Let's go Pacific Northwest. March POW days. Oh, March is over. Come Saturday. It's April POW days, baby. Dude, I actually rode a bunch of POW this week at the start of the week. And then I rode a bunch last week. It was good. Been riding. Actually picked up all the new Jones stuff yesterday too. So there's like the Hovercraft 2.0. Grabbed a new Mind Expander, Ultra Mind Expander, a couple flagships in there. Grabbed the new Project X, the Stratus. So Storm Wolf. So a bunch of stuff to ride. Kind of stoked on that. Also rode the new Capita Navigator. It's a different ride. It's really easy to sink the tail on that thing. Oh, we're eating more muscle cheese, people. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is a good one from Timothy C. Went to Powder Tools at Steamboat. Was well taken care of by the staff there, especially after mentioning your name. Shout out to Isaiah. Zay! Love Isaiah. Love riding with Isaiah. Makes me go faster than I want to go. It's awesome. So glad you had a good time up there. Bernie, Curtis, all those guys, Harrison, Carl, Jordan, Hans, Shredlocks, all those guys. Really great shop up there. Can't stress that enough. Those guys are just super, super good shop. I know they got spring deals. Steamboat's staying open an extra week. So, if you can make it up to the boat, go. They're setting record snowfall up there. They're supposed to get more. I think they're getting like 18 to 22 inches next week. So, yeah. But if you're ever in Steamboat, Powder Tools 100%. Always go to that shop. I'm unofficially sponsored by them. So, when you support them, you support me. You support snowboarding. It's great. So, yeah. So. Oof. Let's see. What else we got going on here? Let's see. We'll take this super chat from BZMs. I never thought I'd see a legend surpassed in our sport so easily after years of dominance. But congrats to Snowboard Jesus for overtaking Buckhouse's King Kook. Dude, he went all in. He went to the X Games and just embraced it, and it was like, boom. Yeah, for anyone that didn't see the video on Instagram of him running into the ski rack at Telluride and causing it to tip over on top of one, my skis or my snowboard, specifically my snowboard was on there and it got knocked over, I'd be really pissed about it. 2, further proof he can't snowboard. And then number 3, you should read the comments that people are trying to argue with me defending him on there. I'm like, why the fuck are you defending him? Like, he's a fucking kook. I was like, kook's doing kook shit. But don't worry, he's going to save snowboarding. I mean, maybe he should, save some money and get a lesson to learn how to ride. Hey, Tommy B, can you fucking teach him how to snowboard? I mean, I know you could teach him how to snowboard, but would you teach him to snowboard? Better question. Oh, yeah. That's right. Spray skiers, people. Gnome Sade, do you know why there aren't many K2 passport reviews? So that board, if I remember correctly, they had some production, not like an actual issue in manufacturing. It was just like production timeline to get it out. I think I was lucky enough to be like one or two people that got one for a review, I think, at the time. Great board, completely underrated. Absolutely great board. But yeah, I think that's it. Either that or people just slept on it and didn't ask for it. All right, we got Ordnung Sam T. Hey, I weigh 165 pounds and have a boot size 12. Jesus, that's a big foot for that weight. I want to buy the 24 Captain Mercury for resort in Europe and a Navigator for POW. Any sizing recommendations? And should I buy the Mercury wide? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Size 12 boot, you're going to need the wide. The Navigator, without looking at the specs, at 165 pounds minimum, you do kind of want to size up on that board, a little bit, especially for Europe, I would. Minimum at your weight, though, you'd be looking at the 58, and I don't know if that's going to fit you or not with that size 12. So, all right. Let's see. Just going through questions here. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we'll take this one from Stu Hain. Are you aware of aftermarket straps for now bindings? I love the bindings, but the straps are subpar and the ratchets slip, etc. Like some entry-level Burton freestyle. Hit up their warranty and tell them you're having some issues because they'll probably send you the next year's stuff, would be my guess, which I guess there's a whole new strap. So, okay. David Dixon, am I the only one who thinks the Karoo nose rider looks stupid? Looks like a good way to get skier-type knee injuries. Someone I know's friend has one over at A Basin and was ripping it hang 10 style. And I'm looking at it going, I kind of want to see I kind of want to ride it. I'm not going to lie. Do I think it's stupid? Yes. Do I want to ride it? Yes. Am I worried that my knees are going to completely explode? Yes. But I want to do it. I think it's, so if you've ever ridden anything with a channel and had it slip on you, and I've had this happen numerous times, it's always interesting to see how you react when it starts to slide. But when something's specifically designed for it, I'm like, the concept intrigues me. It's a novelty. I'm not going to deny that it's a novelty. And I'm not going to deny that I think it's stupid. But I also think that there is a level of riding, if you can do it properly, that shows that you have mastered the ability to control the weight of a board and how to move your weight around on a board. I think it really does show something there. That's why a part of me wants to be like, I need to ride this thing. So, yeah. All right. We got a super chat from our other moderator, Carlos Enriquez, down in Aspen. What's up, fam? Enjoy the closing days of the season. Hit the like button and go to the gym. Went to the gym yesterday. Everyone should be getting to the gym. Don't be slacking off because it's the end of the season. You guys got to get in shape. Snowboard season's coming. And for you guys in the Southern Hemisphere, you should already be in the gym. I know what you're doing down there, sinners. Repent. And remember, you can choose to be offended by anything I say. It's your choice. Okay, DZ, what do you think of Burton boards? Don't see any recent reviews for their stuff from you. Because they're too busy sitting around huffing their own farts, thinking they're great, and then giving shit to women in yoga pants and talking about that. Like, Burton, where mediocrity just thrives. That's what it is. It's a lot of middle-of-the-road product. Bindings are good because, like, they did it, but it's mediocre product. They don't care to give it to me because they're worried that they'll get a real critique. It's like I'm sick of fucking dealing with them, so I just said, fuck it, I'm over it. You want to make me deal with this shit? The good thing is the new guy that I hired, he's like, hey, found a stack of Burton boards sitting at his other job, and he's like, it's all next year shit. And I was like, would anyone even notice if we took them for a week? And he's like, probably not. And I was like, maybe we'll just take them all. And then again, maybe we'll just take them all. And then again, I just got like 15 Jones boards. Marhar stuff shows up Saturday. Working on getting Karua stuff right now. I got to get the Yes and Now stuff in. Plus, there's a bunch of other shit showing up. I still have to get Nitro. I got Mervin showing up in 2 weeks, which is like 20-something pieces. It's like never ending over here. Okay. TBTT, is the Capita Aeronaut looking like the hype board of 23-24? I wouldn't say it's the hype board. It'll have hype behind it. It's not going to be the most hype. I think people know what they're going to get with that board. That's Longo's board. I mean, I wrote it. You want to send side hits. You will send side hits with that thing for sure. It's absolutely amazing. Stiffer than you think. It plows through everything. It is just old school, like balls to the wall. It was funny. I was hitting like this. There's like this cutout side hit, and you kind of had to hip it, but I didn't know you had to hip it. So like I was riding with my friend, the Deafness, and she's like behind me, and I go up and figured that I was just going to pop and like kind of turn. I just didn't have enough speed for the pop. I think I dropped like 8 feet right onto a mogul and just bent that thing around. It cratered the mogul, and I was fine. But you can that thing launches, but it takes a lot of load. It's aggressive. I think there'll be a lot of people that'll be wanting it. Realistically, they don't need it, but I think Megadeth is going to get more hype than the Aeronaut, just because it's the Megadeth. And that board is amazing, too. I rode that. Actually, I've been riding a bunch of the Capita stuff right now. Starting to think about like which boards are going to be like super, super hyped. Amplet's got some cool new stuff this year, too. Nitro's got some stuff. Mervin's already putting stuff out. You can buy it on their website, so there's that stuff. Okay. Brian Sawada, have you heard about Proteus snowboards here in Colorado? They have a tech to adjust the board from camber to rocker with a ratcheting system. So, yes, I've seen them up close. First off, I don't hate the technology. What I don't like is the boards just have a rough finish. They don't have the machinery to refine the finish on the board. They're a little thicker and heavier. I looked at the system. So basically, the way that I describe it is, it's like a guitar tune. It's like your guitar tuning, right? So out in the nose, there's a cable strung through a channel, and then it hits this little receptacle, and you get a little wrench to tighten down. There's the same thing through the tail, and you can turn it, and as you turn it, it'll take it from the camber position into a full rockered position, or you can do rocker in the nose, camber in the back, rocker in the tail, camber in the front. Don't know why you do that, but you could. And the idea is that you can tweak the board. The concept of it is interesting, but when I talk to the guys, I don't trust them, one, to build the board. I trust them to engineer. I went to an engineering school, but I don't trust them with what they're doing. And, I saw them the first year they came out, and I talked to them, and I was like, hey, this is really interesting. I like the idea of what you guys have going on here. And I was like, can you explain it further? And they're like, no, we're in the process of getting patents. And I was like, okay, fine. And so he's tightening it up, and I looked at it, I was like, it's a guitar string. And he's like, no. And I was like, it is. So I talked to him. They hit me up, and they were like, hey, we want to send you a board. And I was like, okay, cool. This is what it is. This is the size I want. Just send it to me. They're like, no, we want to put your graphic on it. And I was like, no, you can send me a board. I don't let my logos touch a product I don't endorse. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That's not who I am. I have to believe in it for it to do it. So one, they wanted my graphic images. So if I gave it to them, then they have that on file. Next thing I know, they're popping out boards with it, and I've got to go deal with cease and desist and lawyers and all this shit. Two, it looks like I'm endorsing them by letting them do that. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. I was like, just send me a blank. Black base, white top sheet. I don't care. Fucking put a rainbow, fucking a unicorn up the ass. I don't give a shit. I'll ride the damn thing. But it didn't do it. But so my thing is how strong is that cable through the board, right? What's going to happen over time? And I asked them this. I was like, what's going to happen over time? And they didn't really have an answer. And I was like, well, what happens if I knuckle a jump, or I drop onto something and I overflex the board? What's going to go on with it, right? And the response was, one of them that I was talking to points to the other one. He goes, he's a really good snowboarder, and he hasn't broken one. And I'm looking at him going, his pants are about this much too short, and they're tight, like not like skinny fit tight, like nerd tight. His jacket is officer short shirt. When he raises his arms, I can see his stomach. And I was like, and he looks like he sits down to strap in. And I'm like, and he did. Saw him later that day. And I'm like, you can't trust that. So I was like, I want to see what actually happens. Like, I want to know what happens when I'm in Peace Park and I ollie off the side of one of the smaller jumps and bomb drop it like 10 feet down to flat. Is that thing going to just blow up on me? Like, what's going on there? So that's the whole thing with it. I think they have something there. I don't think they're the people to be building the board. I think like if you put that in a better factory, it would make sense. But I also think it's a novelty to an extent where it's not something everyone's going to need either. Anthony Nidecker Gamma, Jones Aviator, or ride Shadowband for all mountain freestyle. Aviator's the stiffest. And then the Shadowband and Gamma are tied, but I do think that the Shadowband starts out stiffer than the Gamma, but it will break in at about 15 days and gets a little softer. The Gamma has more snap than the Shadowband. Probably actually has more snap than the Aviator, realistically, because it takes less to load and you get more return. The Aviator's like more balls to the wall. Shadowband's kind of like that middle of it. And then the Gamma is it's a full true twin. And it's an asymmetrical twin, is like more freestyle focused. Each one has its place. You got to kind of ask yourself, do you want a true twin with asymmetrical? Do you want something that's going to be a little stiffer and more aggressive than it's the Aviator? And if you want something that's kind of in the middle, that's where you go with the Shadowband. All right. Thorvald going to Mount Hood for the first time next week. Any general recs? I don't know. This time of the year, go where what's open. Have fun in Govey, dude. Spray skiers. All right. We got our boy Tommy Bennett looking to spin to win. Gonna have to leave stickers under his windshield wipers. He left ones under mine that said Bobby sucks. Tommy, you got to go smash POW. I know you don't ride POW, but you have to go ride POW, so you have to go smash it. Okay. Okay. Chris Baum, size 10 boots, but those have become too small. Gotten fat and flatter feet. Sizing up to 11 means getting a wide board, or can I save that money? Depends on what boot you go with, too. I mean, the best boot's the one that fits your foot. But the bigger thing would be, yeah, your feet did collapse, but if you have an aftermarket insole, that can actually suck it up. Or if you're trying to get some life out of your boot, grab a heel wedge, pull up the insole, put the heel wedge in the back, put it down. That's going to elevate the foot, pull the pressure off the toe, and you'll fit in there a little bit better as well. All right. Okay. New Renaissance soft mid-wide board for park that can also carve in a pinch. How soft do you want to go? That's the real question. So, like, I would actually probably go with like a Disaster Plus because you can actually carve with that one if you need to. Looking for something in a mid-wide. Gangplank kind of comes to mind, but honestly, probably just go with a Ride Kink and get the wide if you need to, and that'll allow you to turn too. Ugh. TJ Happybird, who would win in a fight or a snowboard contest? Tommy Bennett or Kevin from Snowboard Pro Camp? Well, in a fight, Kevin's got the arms reach over Tommy, but Tommy's got tenacity and he's not a bitch. In snowboard contest, it's Tommy all day because he actually hits big jumps. Doesn't travel the world to land on the knuckles of the same size 10-foot jump everywhere he goes. Okay. All right. RJ Goals, spin to save the great TIT population before Tommy eats them all. Yes, Tommy eats TITS. I'm talking about the birds. Tommy's a goddamn bird eater. Eats them whole, live. I saw a bird sitting on his car the other day, and I was like, dude, do you have a death wish? You got to fly away, man. He's going to eat you. He's going to eat you. Do not pass go. Okay. All right, let's take some more super chats here. We got some stuff going on there. Okay, Amer S with the super chat. Thanks for all you do, Mike. No, thank you. You guys that watch me are the real MVPs. Like, I would just make content and throw it out into the wild. It's you guys that actually support, build the community. We actually do things that actually benefit snowboarding, which we're starting to plan out Black Friday 2023 this year. We're going to try to figure out who we're working with for fundraisers, which, speaking of fundraisers, Shred Foundation is doing an Icon Pass giveaway. So if you go to shredfoundation.org, this little pop-up will show up, and you click it. For every $25 donation, you get entered into a raffle to win a full Icon Pass. So I made a donation today. You guys will actually see my name, Avery Lefebvre, and I was like, basically something like, all you heathens need to donate or something like there on there. But yeah, and after this live stream's over, there'll be a link to it down in the description. There'll also be a link to the cultural mystery link of the week, which you guys will be thanking me for. Also, there's a new edit link down there from Shredbots. So yeah, check that out. But you guys are like, I'm nothing. I don't fucking matter. You guys are what matters. So oof, you lose. Ouch. Okay, Rest Jack with the super chat. 2 days out of my new K2 passport in perfect slushy spring conditions. Thanks for the help narrowing down my choice on your Sherpa service. Also grabbed it at 40% off spring sales. Thank you. Dude, rock on. Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, we have a personal shopper service. I put a link. It's in the very bottom of the description. I'm in the process, like, YouTube is partnering with like Shopify, and I'm going to change the web store over to Shopify. But if I can do it right, I'll be able to link the store right below the videos, especially in live streams, and you guys will be able to just click right through and buy it from here. So that's something I'm going to work on in the off season. But yeah, I do have a personal shopper service, so take advantage of that. Because unlike curated, you at least know you're getting someone that knows what they're talking about. Oh yeah, shop local, people. Shop local. Okay, Philip Walter, really interested in skate tech bindings. So you got your Now and Jones. Used to be a hard charger, but now rad dadding on a Warpig with Ride C6 and enjoying a more surfy style. Would skate tech bindings work well on a Warpig? They'll work great on the Warpig. You just have to understand you're on the C6, so you're gonna lose that lateral play you have in the binding. And depending which Now binding you go with, which if you want surfy, you're probably looking at like an IPO or the Brigade, or maybe go to like the Jones Meteorite or an Orion. You're going to get more power toe to heel. Like the way the skate tech works is it drives more power toe to heel in there. So when you go to the heel side, it's like boom, it pulls the toes up, drives the power to the heel edge, and when you go to your toes, it pulls the heel up and drives that power back down instead of you being flat and doing it. So you have to be aware of that. It's going to change how it rides for you. You're going to notice more response. And since you said you wanted it a little more surfy, might not be the right way to go. Okay. Nathan G. Learning what trick wrecked you the most. You're going to get a visual aid on this one, buddy. See that? February 25th, 2002. Holiday Valley half pipe. Went up to do a front side air and hit some oververt, kicked myself upside down, could see the center of the half pipe, flipped myself around, came down, stomped the landing, put a crater in the ground and sat down, pinched my spleen open, got a pericardial tear in it. I think that's what they call a pericardial tear. I might be wrong on the medical terminology on that. It clotted and it was bleeding internally for 2 weeks. Your spleen's the size of your palm. Mine was the size of a football. Went back out riding, fell a couple times, was fine. Actually tacoed a rail, and I don't know how it didn't go on that. Caught an edge coming out of the half pipe, fucking fell on it, ripped it end to end. Had to be flight for life. So the half pipe will fuck you. So watch yourself. I still love riding half pipe though. Need to do it more. Oh, ouch! You lose. Okay, Ultramo upgrade from my beloved Solomon Craft for riding everywhere. Analysis paralysis with the Tellus Legend or the Public Disorder Hub. I mean, sounds like you're trying to go more freestyle. Like you're looking at two twins. The Legend is a little easier to press and engage on turns just with the camber profile in it. The Disorder is like, you're not going to learn bad habits with that thing. The Disorder is going to make you a better snowboarder. Like that's old school camber. Like I'm pretty sure that's the Disorder. Pretty sure it's the Disorder that has that. I don't know. I get them all confused. Too many D-named snowboards in their lineup. But honestly, go with the one you can get a better deal on. Coming off of a craft, each one's going to be an upgrade. Okay. BW Nico. Hey, Averin, where is the Capita Aeronaut going to sit in the lineup, especially compared to the Mercury? So Mercury's way softer. It's noticeably softer. It's got an easier to press profile. It's a little more all mountain freestyle where the Aeronaut is more free ride. So like if we're really looking at it, the Aeronaut is up there with like the old Kazoo, not the new one for next year. The old Kazoo, it's like Black Snowboard to Death, Aeronaut, Megadeth, those types of boards. That's where it's going to sit. So, okay. All right. All right, Stephen Montrose, need a replacement for my super clapped out Arbor roundhouse. I'm 6'3", 190 pounds. I eat lead weights for dinner. That's weird. And I need an all around board. Well, coming off of a roundhouse, you want something that you can still kind of charge on. You sound like the type of guy that would benefit from like a Capita Black snowboard of death, uh, maybe like a Ride Berserker. Maybe if you did a directional twin, like an Amplid Singular. I think those are like three boards that really stick out for like what you're doing. You also might like a Nidecker Alpha APX. I think that would be better than the regular Alpha for you. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think. If you did like Mervin, you might like an E-Jack knife. I think that would be kind of up your cup of tea, or maybe a rig. So there's a few options for you. Ollie Brown, how's Kevin getting on these days? I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I've seen his truck when I drive past his house, but I haven't seen him. Kind of worried. He's getting married. So he's got a lot on his plate, so I don't really see him as much. Adam Finley, hey dude, heard anything about the quality of van boots lately? Seen a lot of reviews highlighting some common failures. Example, poorly wrapped boas, seam splitting. So I think one of the big issues with boots is a lot of them were shipped on water and they got held up in Long Beach. So they spent a lot of time sitting out in the harbor. Warm, humidity, cold nights, salt water in the air and stuff. Because Solomon had some issues like a bunch of companies have. And I'm not surprised. Like, I think it was just a rough year for boots, a rough couple years with the pandemic and everything. So, you got to just kind of go with it. I know Vans has been pretty good with their warranty, like telling people, like, they're like, well, here's a card, just buy one. Like, they won't give them a replacement. They'll just give them a gift card to buy something off the website, which I actually have a set of the Iguchi Around the Town, the MTB boots. And the rubber on the top of it, like over the toe, is separating. They're not even 6 months old. My last pair lasted 2.5 years, and by the time I was done, the treads were completely like worn off because I live in those things for like 8 months of the year. So yeah, okay. All right, we'll see if we can answer this super chat from Leno Oasis. Framed rolling board bag, one complete plus one deck capacity with extra storage, rigid enough to not sag the bag and drag along the ground when rolling. You probably want to go with like the Dakine High Roller. I think that's the one you want to go with on that. That's like kind of the go-to, the Dakine stuff. Any of those seem to be it. Like, I haven't bought a new board bag in 20 years. Like, I'm really not the guy to ask that stuff about. Ooh, smash that pow. All right, we got Hilux Shred TRD Pro. Have you ever rode the Capita Spring Break Ultralight? I'm looking at a 2023 model for 30% off. I have not. So just understand with the Ultralight, that does refer to the core construction. If you are a heavier rider and you're going to do drops, you might break that board. Just to be aware. Okay. Stu Hain. Is the Aeronaut similar to the Jones Aviator? It's kind of, but the Aviator's softer and easier to flex. Okay, let's see what else we got here. BZMs, why do companies limit board sizes so much? Mold costs, production costs. Like, you could literally make a board for every centimeter out there, but then your production cost would eat it up and your profit would be there. I mean, it's better. If anything, you guys have no idea how good you have it these days compared to like when I started snowboarding. Like, you'd be like, I want this board, but I either have to choose a 59 or a 52. You don't get that 50, 52, 54, 56, or whatever it is that a lot of companies are doing. And it was like, that's it. Yeah. So is what it is, but don't complain to me, complain to the companies. Subscribe or else. Okay, we got this one from Ronan. Will you be riding the new Kapitakazu this year? Thanks. I'm not. New guy TC has written the review for it. We had to give it back to the rep, but we're going to grab it back to film with it. So if you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, you'll get access to that early. But yeah, we did do it. Basically, from what everyone's told me, is it's a softer flexing, more approachable Kazu. It's not going to kill you. If you want something that's going to kill you, you go up to the aeronaut. The Kazu is like just, to quote TC, the new guy, I believe he said it's like a Midwest Mercury. So I was like, okay. Jacob Iverson, I'm headed to a demo this weekend looking for bindings. What movements should I be focused on when testing them to get the most from my runs? Okay, so you really want to test how good a binding is. The best thing you can do, go up as high as you can on the mountain and find a perfectly good groomed run that has chop and chunk on the side of it. Go down the groomer and rip a turn as hard as you can on your heel side edge. Put it back over on the toe side edge, rip it again, and then flat base it and pop an ollie off a roller. When you land, put it right into a side slip, all your weight on your heels, and try to pick up speed. Look at the tip of your board, make sure that it's flapping. Look at that chatter, and then feel what's going on underfoot. When it does that, when you're picking up speed, turn it back around, point it again, start skidding a bunch of turns with your weight on your front knee, then transition back onto your back knee and do the same thing, and then pop a few times, and then try to find something with a hard landing with a bigger drop and pop really hard and push down when you land into it. So you slam into it and see what that binding is doing to you. You're going to see what the flex on the straps are. You're going to be able to tell what the drive is when you put it into the high back. But more importantly, you're going to know how that feels completely underfoot. And that is a really big thing, because if it's not damp enough for you, you're just going to realize how much that actually sucks. Ugh. All right. Fruit Poop Loops. Buyers still bringing in Clue, but also the Supermatic, pushing the Supermatic and the Supermatic only. I mean, they can bring in Clue, but I guarantee you it's not going to ship on time. Supermatic probably will. So, yeah, if your shop's carrying both of them, if you want to have fun, what you do is you take the display model and you disconnect that stirrup with the high back on it and the heel strap, and you hide it. So it's just this binding without the rest of the parts, and be like, I don't know where the rest of the parts are. But we have the Supermatic over here, and it's very easy to step in and step down on, and it works like a regular binding. And it doesn't have proprietary parts because, as it is a Nidecker, your ladder straps are compatible with Battalion, Rome, Now, Jones. Same thing with the ratchets on it. Your parts are far more compatible with that. So there's a big selling point with it as well. I honestly don't think Clue even shipped this year. Like, I have seen, like, you want to talk about a company that was like, everyone was like, oh, every idiot wanted it, and then it was just like fucking fell off. That was it. Eat your muscle cheese. Okay. All right, we got Daffy John. Question about when you think A-Basin closes. I have a buddy who has a B-Day on June 8th. We rode A-Basin May 25th and 21, and he thinks we can ride A-Basin on his birthday this year, even if the snow kind of sucks. He's probably actually right, to be honest with you. They've got over a 70-inch base right now. The big thing will be if they want to move into mountain bike season or not. So the latest I've ever ridden them was 4th of July, but I can remember years that like riding there mid-June. Like they'll close midweek and then they'll open Thursday, Friday, Saturday or something, or they would do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember, but I think he's going to be able to do. I think this year, unless we start getting a ton of rain, he's probably going to be able to do it. What do we got? Ooh. Let's pick a question and give it a spin. Tanky, 2 different sets of bindings have come loose after hitting some jumps. Is my insert pack screwed up, or do I need to add some Loctite to my hardware? If you're going to add Loctite, you got to do it the right way. Take the screw, you brush it down one side, you're going to let it cure for 24 hours. If you're really worried, go get some gel nail polish for like $2 at the dollar store, or whatever the fuck it is. Put it on the thread, tighten them in, and do it. That way, when you go to untighten it, it'll crack and pop right back out because it's just gel coat, but it'll stay locked in there a little bit easier. But it sounds like maybe you just might need new screws. Oh, we're doing it again? Or are we bouncing out? Oh, we're doing it again. Let's find another question. Okay, where were we? We can take this from Silas Klug. How much difference between the Peace Seeker and the Super Pig? The Peace Seeker is more carving oriented, and you have to kind of be on point at all times with it. It's a little, it's stiffer flexing. It's a little more aggressive. The Super Pig is like Peace Seeker light, basically. There is a noticeable difference, and you just have to ask yourself: do you like just want to rail hard turns all the time and not have anything forgiving, or do you want to rail hard turns most of the time, but at the end of the day be a little more laid back? That's where the Super Pig comes in. Go shop local, people. Check out your local snowboard shop. We're going to take this super people. Check out your local snowboard shop. We're going to take this super chat from Waco here. And it's a spin to heal my wife, her broken arm. Hoping no operation. Hashtag season over. Will there be a yes, pick your line on Inc. 2024? Anything similar to it? Looking to replace the Y. It's there. Yeah, I actually, when I get out of here, I've got to go contact the yes rep. It's in the line. So you're good. Don't worry about it. They didn't do a one and done with it this year. Ouch. Loser. Okay. All right. Let's take trying to catch up on some stuff. Let's see where are we. We'll take this one from Roni Twin Turbo. A couple of my buddies are looking to grab some Never Summer for next season. I told them don't, but only because you said they suck. Do they really have bad tech, or is it the company? You sound like a guy that knows cars, right? Well, let's put it this way. Honda Civic's very reliable, right? You know it's a great car. It's going to be very, very reliable. You know what's not reliable? The Pontiac Aztec. That's what Never Summer boards are. They're fucking Pontiac Aztecs. They're like a concept car that just never got finished. It's the best way to describe it. So they're going to have a wonk-ass camber profile where they put the side cut inside instead of right underfoot. It makes it more hooky. As it makes it more hooky, you're going to catch on it. The other thing is you can ask anyone that owns one to take their brand new, maybe they've ridden a 10, 15 day proto-synthesis, proto-FR, whatever the fuck, proto fucking thing. Put it on a flat surface and measure the height of each camber zone. And I guarantee you the rear camber zone will already be lower. It will decamber so it looks like this. It goes camber, reverse, flat. In there. They want to go pay more money for a premium board that uses older technology and upcharges them for a rental board top sheet that adds stiffness to the board, but doesn't actually, like, it makes it stiffer. It makes it more damp. It doesn't fucking actually give you any good properties like a better flex point or anything. Fuck it. Go for it. There's a lot of people that like crap. There's a lot of people that watch TLC. I don't know why people watch the Learning Channel. I remember when it was the Learning Channel. You could actually learn things. There's people that watch it, you know. It's fucking crap. You don't need it. Ugh. All right. Jonathan the Mad. Is a 156 yes grades too small for a rider that weighs 220 pounds, size 13 boot? Would you recommend the 62 wide, 65 wide, or 68 wide Jones Mountain Twin as a general resort board for use throughout the season? I mean, at 220, I really wouldn't put you on a 56 grades. especially if you're just looking for general resort riding. That it's an asymmetrical twin park board. In my mind, I'd probably just say like 62 or 65. I don't think you need to go to the 68 Mountain Twin. All right. All right. Let's see. All right, we got the dude with the super chat out here trying to trade a 9 to 10 condition 2021 Burton boards for boards I know shredded. Nobody wants them. Let that sink in, people. Kind of confused. I get what you're saying. You're just saying that these really good shaped Burton boards are kind of mediocre. I mean, that's it. I always think it's funny when people are like, my Burton got stolen, and it's a really rare board. And I was like, it's a fucking custom. They make thousands of them. Ooh. That's right. Subscribe or else, people. All right, we got another super chat here from Rye. I just want to say thank you for the suggestion of the K2 formula binding. The binding is everything I could ask for after riding switchbacks for so long. Oh, man, Fisher-Price bindings. Whew, anything would have been an upgrade from those. Switchback. Talk about a concept that failed miserably. Like, I like the idea of a modular binding that you could just interchange. The problem was nothing ever stayed put. My friend Crowbar used to hit jumps. I'd watch his high back just go flying out of them. Ooh, ollie skiers, people. Ollie skiers. All right, we got our boy Anthony Hawking. And pretends that he's hiring an editor for reviews, but we all know he's really about getting better numbers on his TikTok dance videos. Feet. First off, it's not my TikTok dance videos. It's my OnlyFeets. I make a lot of money off OnlyFeets. That's where I make my money. That's how I survive. That's what I'm hiring him for. You know, CGI gremlins coming out of my toenails and stuff. That's what we're doing. Do not pass go. C-Post, any recommendation for snowboard boots for chicks? Yeah, best boot's the one that fits her foot and fits her needs. Take her to a shop and try them on. Make sure you get sized properly. Don't put her in a boot that's too small or too big, and don't let her buy based on color. Timothy C. Also met a guy named Ryan from Breckenridge last weekend at A-Basin. Cool dude who asked me to spray skiers. It's an angry community there in Colorado. Sometimes. There's people that know me, and then there's people that dislike me. All right, we got one here from Liam Curry. Hi, angry. Currently have a ride Super Pig with bent metal transfers from a few years ago. I've seen ride A8 or C8 on sale. Do you think the difference in the ride will be worth getting the new bindings? Coming from a transfer, the C8 wouldn't be enough of a difference. The A8 would to an extent. It's not going to be as damp underfoot, and it's going to be a little more rigid. But honestly, save the money, man. I think it's just a marginal difference. You're splitting hairs here. All right. Dragon, are the Battalion Astros a good alternative to the Now IPOs? Hoping to get the same response from the Now Skate Tech. You're actually going to get more response laterally out of the Astro if you go with the full wrap versus the ASIM wrap on there. It's also going to be a little more damp underfoot. The toe to heel response probably won't be as precise as the IPO just because of the Skate Tech in there, but you will get good response. All right, Kyle Goodman, intermediate rider, all mountain focus, doing 10-foot cliffs and side hits and Mount Hood pow. I'm 6'2", 175 pounds. I fight bears in the off season. Not sure on board size. Trying to decide between the Captain Merc 161 or DOA 63 wide, which makes more sense. I mean, because you're riding up at Mount Hood, I'd honestly go with the Mercury and the 61. The DOA, I'm just not a fan. It's just too soft, you know, like. I think the Mercury will give you more of what you want. All right. Tim Hunt tried the new 24 Capita Indoor Survival. I actually rode that today. It's got more snap than it previously had, in my opinion. It also feels more lighter weight. Killer bass tune on that thing. Perfect for jibbing. It really locks into a press, but still gives you that spring. Overall, side cut was dialed. had a fun time on that board. Started thinking, I was like, man, if I just rode a park board, I think this is what I would want. So anyways, yeah, that's where we're at with that. All right, we got Motor Racer 971 with the super chat for bacon and payroll. Can't afford bacon. Have you seen the price of bacon lately? It's fucking pricey, man. Gonna have to turn my dog into an influencer dog to make her work to afford me bacon and her bacon strips. Ooh. Remember, subscribe or else. Al, does it matter that some boards are made in China versus US or Austria? Oh, you want to talk about differences? Okay. The worst finished boards you will ever get will come from the United States. They will have the worst base finish on them. They will have a gallon of epoxy in them. They will be heavier. They will not be up to date on technology compared to Austria or China. They won't. It's just it. Like craftsmanship is like, you really want to see bad craftsmanship? That's it. Like China's better. They've got 20+ years of them doing it since they brought over all the factories and stuff over there. You got generational labor working on it. You got lacquer coats. You got so much in there. Austria right now, if we're talking like the mothership, that's probably the top tier pinnacle of construction. That's like Ferraris of snowboards. But at the same time, people break them doing stupid shit. They're like, it's not durable. And I was like, you did stupid shit, motherfucker. Of course it's going to happen. So it's like each factory, you have your give and take. Like one of the things that I do love about American-made boards, they're a little more damp. It's easier on your knees. They tend to do better when you run over rocks. They just do. They're like a little more girthy in there. You don't just destroy them as much as other ones. But the real big thing is ask yourself, how long has this factory been making stuff, and have they consistently invested in new technology and new manufacturing methods? If they're doing a wet layup that puts a gallon or 2 gallons of epoxy into the board, it's a heavier board. That fiberglass and that epoxy is going to crack over time because it's just got so much in there. Versus if you go with a pre-preg fiberglass that's already pre-tensioned, it's going to be a lighter weight. It's going to be a more responsive board. Yeah, it's not going to be damp and dead, but you can put additives in that core that actually do it. The whole idea of like one area makes a better product, or it's like, or my country's the USA and we're fucking number one. And it's like, you're not number one. You got surpassed, man. If you want to do that, you've actually got to invest in better technologies and stuff. Now, if we want to talk about environmental impact on it, I'm not saying it's great over there in China. Like they're just pouring chemicals out the back door and shit in there. Austria is definitely way better than that. The US is definitely way better than that. But these are all things that you got to take into it. Like, let's see, what do I got here? It's China, Austria. So that Capita back there is made in Austria. Great finish on it and stuff like that. It's lighter weight than, say, this Nidecker right here. That was that one, I'm pretty sure, was made in SWS, so that might actually be in Dubai. I got to double check. Let's see. Nope, this was made in China. That one was made at Titan in China. Then this is made at GP87 in China as well. Then you've got the Amplit boards that are made in Taiwan at Playmaker. And each factory, you can, like, the more you ride stuff, the more you can start to feel and see the differences and things. And it's really interesting. Like, the big thing is, you want labor that takes pride in what they're doing and actually understands craftsmanship. You don't want some stoner ass motherfucker that's showing up fucking half in the bag, just like, I remember a year, all the Rosinal snowboards, if you looked at the front edge on it, you'd be like, one edge would be sidewall was set perfect, the tip spacers were fit perfect. Then you turn it to the other side, and the sidewall's here, the tip spacer was too long and it was sandwiched in, and it was doing it, and they were cracking in there, and it was just, you could literally tell they were built like third shift, and the dude, you could tell what side of the bench he was standing on while he did his layup, and he wasn't checking his quality and stuff like that. So things to consider. All right, we got Jack Offbeat. Is the 2024 Spring Break Resort Twin the replacement for the simulator? I haven't ridden it yet, But theoretically, yes. Theoretically, yes, that is what it's supposed to be. Okay, James Lee, been riding rocker camber park boards and want to try to transition to true camber park boards. What board would be good to start with? So if you're trying to just get into it, you want something with a mellow camber, something that's not super aggressive. And let's see, like just good old fashioned mellow camber. I would say like a Rome Agent or even an Artifact, probably the Agent. Ride Kink, K2 Geometric, or the World Peace. If you want to go like a softer jib stick, stuff like that. Coming from rocker, I mean, it's going to feel different, but it's not going to kill you. So those would be ones that I would definitely consider. Oof, loser. All right. Where are we? Let's see. Trying to catch up on questions here. I'm about 8 minutes behind you guys. Okay. AJ Costanza, Union Atlas or Falco for all mountain freestyle riding, very minimal park, if any at all. I mean, the Falcor, if you're trying to go with like you want more lateral response in there, personally, I'd probably push you more towards the Atlas just because you're doing all mountain freestyle riding with very minimal park. All right. Fruit Poop Loops, going into 23-24, what do you want to see change in snowboarding? So one, okay, if we're talking tech side of things, companies need to start listing the width of the inserts. Make our lives so much fucking easier. Just list the width of the insert. Greatest fucking thing you can do. All you guys need to complain about that because the more that you complain, the more they'll start doing it. So that would be one right there. Two, I would like to see companies stop making so much overlap and only having like a $30, $40 price jump and being like, this is the pro version. I was like, oh my God, I fucking wrote it. There's like minimal difference between the two. There's not a reason to have both of these. Like, fuck you. Get rid of it. Like, pull back on some of the options. Three, I'd like to figure out a way that we could figure out how to upcycle, recycle, do whatever we have to do with old ass equipment. I'd like to see that. We need to figure that out. Four, lift ticket prices. We've got some of these resorts. It's absurd when you see like $300 lift tickets. Like, the fuck? I'm not paying $300 to go ride. So either you need to just come to the conclusion that your resort is for season pass holders or people that are buying bulk pass tickets, season or day tickets online and stuff. And you should just be like, we're done with the day walk-up ticket. Or be like, we only have these days of the week that we do walk-up tickets and they're $25. Fuck it. I'd like to see that. Like Ski Cooper does Thirsty Thursday, $30 tickets. We did a meetup up there, had 11 people show up. It was great. We had fun. We went and ripped. I'd love to see more of that. I'd also like people to, what are we on? Number 5 now? I think we're on 5. 5, people to stop thinking the Orca is the goddamn end-all be-all. You suck as a rider. You can't ride camber. Fuck off. I'd really like to see that. What are we on now? Number 6? 6? Let's get rid of snowboard influencers. These people don't actually give anything back to snowboarding, and they just take. I think our whole core community really does need to call out these people and do it. And I love the argument from some of these weak-ass, limp-wristed motherfuckers that got participation trophies for showing up. You're gatekeeping. No, it's called cultural preservation. If you call the herd, happens in wildlife. Like, we don't just fucking keep everything around. That's cool. Like, there are snowboarders. There are people that snowboard, and there are people that bought a snowboard. There are 3 distinctions right there. We don't need people that bought a snowboard trying to tell snowboarders what snowboarding is. We don't need people that snowboard trying to tell snowboarders what snowboarding is. You want to know how you get mediocre product? It's a race to the bottom, is when you start listening to people that bought a snowboard and people that snowboard but aren't snowboarders. It's a race to the bottom. That's how you get mediocre product. I watched this happen like 10 years ago. Fucking a whole bunch of posers in the snowboard industry because they didn't want, real job. They didn't realize that it was actually there's real jobs in snowboarding. So we saw these dumb motherfuckers come in and they got themselves into positions and it fucked everything up. We're finally getting through all this and it's in a really good place and we got some really good shit going. We don't need to fuck it up again. So let's like fix that shit. While we're at it, what are we on? Number 8? Let's get rid of the proliferation of fucking Airbnbs in mountain towns so that people can actually move there and keep the culture and the community of the mountain towns around too. I'd love to see that shit. Oh my God. I miss having weird ass neighbors. A couple summers ago, I watched 2 kids ride down Main Street Breckenridge with like those little drifter carts with the motors on them, dressed like Mario and Bowser, and they were throwing banana peels at each other. And the whole time, everyone was just like freaked out about it. And I was just like, let's keep Breckenridge weird. Like, I want to see more of that shit. That shit's fun. Like, you know, I don't want these fucking tech nerd bro douchebags with their $200,000 Sprinter vans coming in and being like, well, I know that the rent on this is $2,000, but I'll pay you $5,000 a month so everyone gets fucking booted out. Like, fuck these people. Watched 2 fucking Chad bros the other day bitching at my favorite restaurant about the price of the lunch special because they each drank 5 beers and got food. 5 beers each. And they were like, it's $27. That's fucking ridiculous. And I'm sitting here thinking, huh? And I'm talking to the owner and I was like, yo, you got that receipt for my birthday party? I was like, you should bring that out and just put it down in front of him and point and be like, that guy paid $1,000 and didn't bat an eye for an open bar for his friends. Like, fuck them. I'm like these fucking pickle dick motherfuckers that just want to fight and argue and do stupid shit. Like I watch them belittle. I was watching one of the dudes get belittled at the grocery store the other day. And I was like, yo, you need to shut the fuck up. He was like, what? And I was like, you want to go outside? Because you're fucking around. You're about to find out. And he's just like, well, he can talk for himself. And I was like, no, he can't. It's a corporate job. He loses that. He loses his health insurance. What am I going to do? Get banned from a grocery store for fucking month, a year? Okay. Fucking other grocery stores I can go to. They don't even have security here. They're not going to stop me. You want to go out in the parking lot? We'll fucking finish this, you little tech bro douche canoe. Like, they all fucking have golden doodles. Like, what the fuck? Can't go to the dog park anymore because, oh, evidently I got a vicious dog because she runs around with a ball in her mouth barking. Oh, yeah, fuck you, you fucking mountain town fucks. Wannabe mountain town fucks. Go back to the fucking Bay Area. Let's get rid of that while we're at it. Let's see. What else can we talk about? I'd like to actually see more pro snowboarders being built up. I think we need to go back to having wacky pro models. That would be another one. So what are we on? Number 9 now? 8, 9, wherever we are. So I'd like to see more pro models. I'd like to see true pro models, like true real pros. And these guys drive a lot of stuff. 10, I would like to see natural selection expand to having an amateur league where it's a video submission contest. So it's going to make it harder. You can, and then you pick 2 people from it. There'll be a wild card and a people's choice winner or whatever it is, right? So it's a voting and then you have a private voting from the main competitors. That will bring up new people that you would not expect into it. Mainly the reason I want to do this is so my boy, Greg Knaw, the most underrated snowboarder currently in Colorado, could go do something like that. Fucking films with Torstein and all those guys. And I would love to see him get to go to an event like that. So, yeah, that's what I would like to see. Those are things that I would like to see in snowboarding for this year. That's not going to happen. Okay. We got Who 5H, 6'2", 260 with size 13 boots and double snake tattoos on your calves. Okay, that's weird. Looking at getting a skunk ape, 61 wide and Cartel X bindings. Thoughts, suggestions, carving well for a rental and looking to build on a free ride style. Sounds like you're coming off Reynolds. I think you'll be fine with both of those. Go for it. BZM with the super chat. When are you going on the bomb hole? The world needs that podcast. That is not up to me. I don't want to do it. I don't deserve one. I know I don't deserve one. I'm totally fine with that. On top of the fact, the level of hate comments that would come out Whoa, fucking next level. But no, Grenier doesn't like me, so that's never going to happen. So. Drink, my lord. Okay. This is actually a really good PSA from Ali Zacharon. Finally made it to Colorado this season and had a great time making my boyfriend 6'3", 190 pounds, and totally in love with me. Ride my 52 sashimi. Both agree it was a great $200 purchase. Take advantage of those sales. Yeah, you got that one on the house. Woo! Okay. Tanky, is there a big difference in the 23 Black Snowboard to Death versus the 24 Black Snowboard to Death? Wondering if the new one is worth the wait. From what I understand, there's no change in that one, but then they do add the Mega Death. So, okay. Okay, we got Eric P. Sup, dude? Looking for a new board. Think I've outgrown my beginner board, Rosy Resurgence. Don't spend much time on rails, but like hitting jumps and charging in the back bolts and trees. Any wrecks? Yeah, sounds like you're just looking for an all-mountain directional twin. That's like what you need. I mean, honestly, like Ride Shadow Band would probably be good for you. You could do a Solomon Assassin Pro if you really want to. Jones Mountain Twin, Captain Mercury, but wait till next year's Mercury. Trust me on that one. You'll thank me for that one later. That would be another good one for you. Maybe like a K2 broadcast. I think he'd be solid. Like, yes, typo. Got a bunch of options there. All right. Okay. We got Rubo Eris with the super chat. Just saying hi. Been a while. Give my spin to someone else. Okay. Who gets it? Who gets it? Who gets it? Where are we? We'll find someone here. We'll go with Brandon Sawada. He's going to get a spin out of this one. Bent metal transfers are the only bindings that haven't given me any problems. Looking for stiffer bindings. Any suggestions? Bent metal solution? Solution is going to be super stiff. Why don't you have you looked at the Core Pro? It's right in between the transfer and the solution. And that's probably what you need, honestly, unless you're going for a super big jump up in there. But I'm going to bet that you probably just need the Core Pro. Oof, nothing.